Good evening, everyone. I don't know why I'm shouting. Welcome to after dinner pipe and coffee. Smoking my Missouri Legend with some Admiral's Choice Vanilla Cavendish that my brother Ed sent me. And I am on my way to Langhorne, Cairn University, where my daughter is attending college. I'm going down to pick her up to bring her home for the weekend. She wants to come home, spend some time with some family. So I agreed to come down and get her. So let me change this mic. Just 1 second. Alright. Felt like it was getting zip-zapped on the let's do this. Trying to find the perfect spot for it. How's that? Yeah, that'll work. Anyhow. This Cavendish, it's Admiral's Choice. It's pretty good stuff. I mean, it's got a good flavor, good taste, good room note. Smells great in the bag. You buy it bulk. I think my brother got it from Pipes and Cigars, because that's where I've seen it. Him and I have been swapping stuff back and forth, sending each other different tobaccos back and forth. We've been trying different blends together, and if he likes something, he'll send me a sample of it. If I like something, I'll send him a sample. Some things I don't like, I've sent to him, or I'll save it and give it to someone else. But this is good. This Admiral's Choice is pretty good stuff. You know, it has nicotine, so it's I don't know what's going on up here. Sorry. There's a FedEx truck that's sitting up here. He should be moving. So I think I'm gonna work my way around, because as most of you know, I'm tired. It's been a long couple of days. I actually did pretty good today. I got up. Oh, the turnpike looks a mess. I think I'm going to turn back around and go the other way. Got up around 4:50, about 4 o'clock. And I was beat. So I headed out and got to work, and had to go down to Virginia today. And Thought I'd be more tired than what I was. And I actually did pretty good. Didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. So once the sun came up, I was good to go. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about was effective communications. There's a movie called Cool Hand Luke with Paul Newman out years ago. And in there's a gentleman, I think he was playing the warden, a part of the warden of the prison. Cool Hand Luke was about a prison guy. Sorry about that. Let me do something here. Try to reduce that bouncing. And the warden gives a speech, and one of the things he says in his speech is, what we have here is a failure to communicate. And he was getting on the prisoners about some of the things they were doing and punishing them and stuff. So, but that's so true in everyday life. There's communications, and then there's effective communication. And communication involves two parties. The giving party and the receiving party. And it can reciprocate. Right? So, what I've, over the years, have learned to do, and I think what I've become, is I've become that guy that if you say something and I'm not in agreement with you, I will not hesitate to speak up. Now, to give you an example, let's say I'm at work and the dispatcher says, I want you to go do this, and this. I have the option to say no on that. Sorry about the bouncing around. Jeez. I didn't realize it was going to be like this. I have the option to say no, and I used to not. And then I'd get upset, and then I would complain to myself, to my work colleagues. This is, years ago. And I'd moan and groan, I'd get angry, I didn't want to go to work, and I didn't like going to work, and then it was work, I didn't want to go to work. I mean, that's what happens when you have a lack of good, effective communication. Nowadays, today, fast forward a number of years, as you get older, you get wiser, and you get set in your ways. Well, hopefully you get more wise, and you get set in certain ways, and you do things a certain way. Nowadays, if someone were to say something to me like that, and I would say, no, I'm not doing it. For example, I put in long hours yesterday, and today, if they wanted me to go back out there, I would have said, no, not doing it. Sure, dispatcher would have got upset, probably would have got mad at me, but I'm not going to do anything that is going to make me dislike my job. I'm not going to do anything to please somebody else when it's going to inconvenience me, and I'm going to complain about it if I don't. So it may sound selfish. It's really not. If you have to really look at it in a different way. My biggest weakness is I don't know how to say no. I just don't. People will ask me to do something and I do it. I don't say no. I don't refuse. I just do it, and it's a big weakness of mine. Sorry, I think I lost something here. I'm trying to find it, and it's not good. And I've learned through the years that I've got to say no. It's okay to say no. Anyway. When we fail to use effective communications, the results can be catastrophic. It can end relationships. It can cause bitterness and resentment. It can cause lack of productivity, morale, it causes the morale to go down. So, just something I was thinking about today. There's times, that we just need to, there's good communications and there's bad communications. We have to make sure, I hate to use a big word like this, but we have to articulate well what we want to say so that there's no mistake in what we're trying to say. I like it when people are honest with me, and I like it when they tell me how they feel about something if we're talking, if I make a request. When I was the boss, I would make a request, or I would say, and sometimes they would just go along with it because I'm the boss. And that's fine, because that's what bosses want. But sometimes you just have to stand up and you have to say, no, this isn't working. But in an everyday life, we have to use a good, effective communications. If we don't, we're going to have problems, mostly within ourselves. We're going to struggle with anger, resentment, bitterness, negativity, unwarranted criticism towards others, gossip. There's all these things that could come out of bad communication skills. So just be honest. If you're honest with people, what am I using actually talking like Sean Connery. If you're honest with people when they talk to you about things and it's something that's bothering you and it's something they're critiquing you on or they're getting on you about, or something they want you to do, if you're honest with them, trust me, they're going to respect you more. They may not like what you have to say, but you know what? You're going to walk away a much happier person because you stood up for yourself. By the way, I do have coffee. It's just in a travel mug. So I've messed up a lot of relationships with people because I did not use effective communication with them. I was, one, not honest with them. Two, I took a tone and an attitude towards them. And this goes along with what I was talking about the other night about respecting boundaries and respecting one another's views. That helps you communicate. It helps you with diplomacy. Look, life's a sale. We're selling ourselves to people all around us every day. We are selling ourselves because, one, we want people to accept us. Two, we want them to like us. Three, we want them to promote us if we're at work or notice us. It's for self-gain, self-preservation. So we're constantly selling ourselves to people, especially new people when we meet people. Especially if you're single and you're dating someone, you're constantly selling yourself to that person when you're courting them. Yeah, I use the word courting. And hopefully you're honest and you're not lying and giving a lot of BS to them. Because I promise you, you lie in a relationship with someone you're dating, if you end up getting married and you've been lying all along, you're probably going to end up in divorce court because you get found out sooner or later. People can see you, especially your spouse, can see you for who you really are once the wedding band is on the finger and they're around you 24/7. But, relationships can get ruined. You got to watch your words. You got to watch how you say things. It all goes with the point of taking a step back and looking at the whole picture. In college, we called it worldview. We looked at different religions, different political and socioeconomic beliefs and systems and stuff. And it's the same thing with relationships. Personally, I think there ought to be a class for everybody. Sorry about that sunlight. There ought to be a class for everybody in high school on how to have good relations with other people. And in today's world, we're so politically correct about everything. Everybody's afraid to say something that might get them in trouble. There was actually a poll out today, and over 80% of Americans dislike the PC world, the politically correct world. And they broke it down even into racial groups: Hispanics, African Americans, Latinos, white Caucasians, men, women. It was very specific. It was actually pretty cool, which is actually a good thing to see. But is it too late? Did the politically correct world go too far? Is it too late? And a lot of the millennials don't like the politically correct language and talk and how you have to talk. They're afraid to say things. This is why we have such a hard time with social life, and I think it's why it's so easy for people to, rather than go out and be social, they get on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, and whatever else those other ones are, because it's much safer than getting face to face with someone. So, I'm at the store, so with that said, I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I'm going to work my way down to Philly, but I wanted to stop at the store first, and I'm going to pick up my daughter and have a great weekend with my family this weekend. So I'm looking forward to getting down there and getting back. I am really, 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 really tired, so I want to get home as quick as possible. And whether my daughter likes it or not, she's driving on the way back because I'm tired. So, all right, my friends, thank you for joining me for after dinner pipe and coffee in my car. I apologize for doing this on a traveling, but while I'm traveling. But when you're limited for time, you do what you got to do. All right, everybody, light them up. I'll see you next time.